This is my first spoiler video, so go easy on me, guys. So this is my first video of spoiler. I've never done one of these, so I'm gonna try to wing it as best as I can. So I'm gonna talk about the end credit scene, mid-credit scene. Everybody wants to know about it. Yes, Venom isn't in the MCU timeline. Great stuff. I mean, I'm excited. I'm more excited what's gonna happen afterwards. Okay, so I guess whatever happened in WandaVision when Wanda became Scarlet Witch, Loki at the end of Loki with Kang the Conqueror, or No Way Home, the trailer. Maybe Doctor Strange did it, but anyways, Venom's in the MCU and I'm glad and I'm happy for it. He might be the sixth member of the Sinister Six, the video I talked about a few months ago. Put it up here. What I didn't like about it is that just Venom just eats Carnage, eats the symbiote suit, and is just done like that. Just done. And he's such a problem in the comics. It takes a lot more to take him down, but I guess because Spider-Man's not here, so they had to find a loophole on trying to taking him down. Plus, Venom ain't as smart as Peter Parker, in the least to say. Andy Serkis, the director, he did say that the symbiote is still alive somehow, so maybe it will go somewhere after that. One more thing. So the guy at the end, the Detective Mulligan, FBI agent or whatever he was, he's going to become, in the comics, Pat Mulligan. He becomes Toxin, and he's way stronger than Venom and Carnage put together, but he's got a moral code. The only time he turns bad or evil is whenever he latches on the Toxin symbiote, latches onto Eddie. That's when Eddie goes against Agent Venom. So this is my new thing, or if I was in, okay, this is called If I Was in Charge, or If I Wrote It. New series to see how this pans out. If I was in charge of the Venom series, which I'm a big fan of, you can tell, I grew up reading Venom, and Venom wasn't Eddie Brock at the time. It was Matt Gargan. And if any Spidey fans out there, that is Scorpion. So Eddie, by that time, he already had cancer because Venom gave him cancer. Before I get into all of that, my thing is that I read Venom when they started having really good writers added to the series. We had Rick Remender. We had Warren Ellis with the Thunderbolt series, which I always talk about on this channel. I might have to do a review on that one day. He was a monster whenever I was reading him in Thunderbolts and in Dark Avengers. Like, he became big. And the thing is with Venom, it explores a lot of like dark themes and stuff that I don't think kids would like be real keen on. I feel like they should go more like the Blade route, be a little more edgier with the Venom, because what I'm about to explain to y'all is very interesting. This is what I grew up with, or I started reading it. I had the privilege to read the best Venom runs. Matter of fact, my next Venom video is going to be on Donny Cates' Venom run, which I read all 3-4 years when it was coming out monthly. Get into it. Agent Venom is where I picked up reading Venom right off the bat. Agent Venom is Flash Thompson. So Flash Thompson, if y'all know, he was the bully in Spider-Man that bullied Spider-Man in the movies. So eventually, because he liked Spider-Man so much, he was inspired to go into the military. He wanted to be as heroic as Spider-Man, the best way he could be. He lost his legs in the Afghan war, Iraq war, whatever war he was in, but it was during that time. And he lost both his legs by saving his commanding officer. And the main thing that keeps this series like so compelling, this is the series that really got me into like loving Venom more than Spider-Man. They tackle a lot of dark themes. At the end of the day, the symbiote, it does feed on your demons, and he has a lot of them. He used to be bullied by his own father. He used to have child abuse. That's why he would always pick on Peter whenever he was in high school, because he would have it done to him at home. And so the Venom symbiote. Okay, so here's a concept of Agent Venom. The only time he gets to use his legs is whenever he has a Venom symbiote on. He gets sent on these suicide missions and only has 72 hours to complete them before the Venom symbiote takes over him. But the Venom symbiote, it latches onto you even more easier if you get angry or you can't control your emotions while you have it on. So it's like a ticking time bomb every time he uses it. It's a double-edged sword, basically. And it was really good. Like, he has his own villains, but He has problems with alcoholism. He had a relationship with Betty Brant. That was one of the things that I think Venom could be into a more darker realm if they wanted to, like Blade, like something more out there. Because at this point, Marvel has done mostly everything, and I feel like badass Black Ops Venom movie would be totally out there and awesome. Venom, from what I've read, he was always a monster. I remember in the Thunderbolt era, came into the Dark Avengers. He was eating people, like he ate like whole troops of soldiers at one point. He was more brutal than ever. But that's because Matt Gargan don't have the same mentality as Eddie Brock did. Eddie Brock kept Venom in check, and Matt Gargan was more scared of the symbiote. Everybody was more scared of the symbiote Venom than Eddie himself. Eddie always seemed more, this is pretty cool, while everybody else was terrified of having the symbiote on him. Okay, so this is what I would hope the movies go into. Eventually, Eddie gets cancer like he does in the comics because Venom gives him to it. And they did reference that in the first movie. They said that there's something wrong with Eddie, which means that the Venom symbiote could be giving him cancer at this point. That's one. Two, at the end of the movie, whenever the mid-credit scene, they were talking about Venom was making fun of him that he knows way more than they'll probably melt his little brain to what Venom knows, all that knowledge. Which at that scene when they pick back up, he can mention that the planet and how there's a symbiote god, but he don't want to get into all that. What they could do, and they could actually expand this to like several movies. Eddie loses the suit. Maybe Matt Gargan gets it at one point, but the rebirth program from Captain America, they'll try to use Venom's suit to do the same that they could with super soldiers. They'll get Flash Thompson. And since all the universes are together, so we get Flash Thompson from the OG Spider-Man trilogy, the one that tried fighting him in the hallways. Because nostalgia right now is really selling, and he's a good actor too. I know he was going to play Deathstroke Snyderverse, but you know, Snyderverse probably not going to pan out. But to have him come back and do Agent Venom, do like a 1 to 2 movies, do like Kill Bill style, like do one long movie and then release the first half and do the second half later. But he dies at the end, and the Venom symbiote gets back to Eddie, and Eddie ends up getting better from the cancer, either through becoming anti-Venom or some hero or villain does like an MCU event and it clears him up. I don't know, something to write them out. Venom and Eddie get back together. Well, they can start with the Donny Cates run. They have a better combination. Venom kind of breaks the deal and he's like, you know what? He explains to him what could be coming. He introduces the whole dragon, the symbiote. They defeat it. They think they defeat it in like the first movie, or maybe they could go like, I don't want to say like a 4 movie. They could do a couple movies, but it ends up latching onto the symbiote that was left supposedly by Andy Serkis. He says that Carnage symbiote ain't dead yet. And at one point, maybe Green Goblin gets the red symbiote like he does in the comics, and it'll be Red Goblin instead of Green Goblin. If that does happen, they'll have a catalyst to go see him, because there's rumors that Carnage is coming back, but he's removing spines and taking anybody's spine that was bonded with Venom or any other symbiote, to be in fact. Because of that, we get absolute Carnage. And Carnage comes back. You could tell there's something off about him. He looks like a skeleton. He looks like a corpse. He looks scarier, because in that comic event of Absolute Carnage, it was more of a horror book because Carnage was unstoppable. And he fused with Noel's symbiote dragon, and he becomes all powerful, and Eddie has a choice to either stop him or save somebody he loves, like he does in the comic. If he kills Carnage, he brings the symbiote god over here to Earth because he's in the MCU. So he kills Carnage, but none of the other heroes know about it. And then eventually he's going to have to fess up before Noel comes in, which rumors were that Noel that was going to be played by Keanu Reeves, but I doubt that's going to happen. But you never know nowadays. To have the symbiote come to Earth with a full force of symbiotes, dragons, and Thor can't take him out. None of the other big heroes can take him out. And they actually make this to an MCU event, sort of like Infinity War. And since it's recently made, they could get bonkers with it. I mean, they already started doing the Jonathan Hickman stuff, so why not Donny Cates? They could do that like that and get Venom to become an Avenger after that. That is my spoiler-ish. What if I would... I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about this video down in the comments below. Are these any good ideas? Should I do more of this what if I was in charge videos? Let me know down in the comments below. Y'all have a good day, guys. Be safe out there. Deuces, y'all.